prayer today is, I praise you, Lord, for autumn, the beauty and hope in the change of season, and the promise that the coming of autumn heralds another ending, a new beginning, and the wonder of another winter, another spring, another summer yet to come. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Hey Adrian, can you check to see if the air's on in here? It's a little warm.
Gary?
Okay, on the 22nd, for maintenance, I accepted the retirement resignation of Susanna Adams, part-time general communications clerk, to be effective October 31st, 2021. As Water Resources approved and executed the Ohio Water Development Authority fund payment request for technical services by GPD Group Incorporated for the Chardon Township wastewater treatment plant and sewers project, Henning Road. Pay request number 8 in the amount of $13,722.28. Pay request number 9 in the amount of $7,256.44. And pay request number 10 in the amount of $5,766.76. And on September 27th, for the Department on Aging, approved an unpaid personal leave of absence for Elizabeth Oliverio, information and referral assistant, for 8 hours due to previously planned event on October 22nd, 2021. This will extend her probationary period by an additional 8 hours. For the Department of Development Building, approved up to 80 hours of unpaid leave for Larry Hayden during the period September 1st, 2021 through March 1st, 2022. This will extend his probationary period by the total number of unpaid hours used. And for maintenance, approved hiring Andrea Scheid to the position of part-time general communications clerk, switchboard operator, to be effective October 4th, 2021 at the rate of $11.82 per hour with a 1-year probationary period. This offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions.
Very good. Thank you. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning. Okay, today's financials include an appropriations transfer to the maintenance equipment account for the purchase of additional snow removal equipment. Cash transfers from the general fund common pleas in juvenile court to the pretrial release supervision and care and custody funds for reimbursements of expenses paid for by the grants that should have come out of the general fund. And then the encumbrances include a formal contract from the commissioners to Benesh, Friedlander, Copeland, and Arnoff LLP for Phase 2 capital improvement projects, and formal contract from Water Resources to Practical Inspections LLC for inspection services for the interior and exterior painting of the county water tower. And among the vouchers are $38,400 from JFS to the Geauga County Board of Mental Health for the July through September contribution to the Therapeutic Youth Center.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Levin?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want me to stay on for the next one, or no?
Yeah, you might as well.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. You guys are always the ones that go, not me, so.
Yeah, so the I don't know if anyone from the auditor's office is.
No.
Okay. So the auditor's office sends us or asks us to pass this resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
So,
And we have to do it again after the election in November.
so this is the Budget Commission, after all of their previous reviews, now we're memorializing that? Is that what this is?
Essentially,
Certifying?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Levin?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we have to do it by October 1st, and then based on things that are on the ballot in November. We'll
Okay.
have to do an amended one before the end of the year.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. How is
Morning,
everyone?
morning.
Good.
Right. 3 things on the agenda today. The first is accepting the resignation of Mark Stuckbauer, my Tour and Home Safety Coordinator, effective this Friday, September 24th. And the next one goes in sync with that to advertise for the position for Tour and Home Safety Coordinator. We want to do that internally for 5 days within the county. And then if nothing works out, we'll post it externally.
I'll make a motion to vote.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Okay. The next one is our grant for federal funding through Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging. The funds come from the Department of Health and Human Services, which are then filtered to the Ohio Department on Aging, then to our consortium, Western Reserve, and then to us. So we are applying for a total of $348,000. That is about $75,000 more than what we typically apply for. What we're specifically applying for is for supportive services, and that would support my social workers to go out in the community to visit with clients, to do service overviews, sign them up for programs. Our transportation 3B would be for our out-of-county medical transportation program. They take seniors out of the county to like the Cleveland Clinic, VA, etc. And for 3E, that's to get our seniors to the adult day service, purchasing transportation vouchers through Geauga Transit. My staff do all the scheduling for that. They're on the phone over an hour each day scheduling the seniors those rides. Matter of Balance is a wellness class taught at the senior centers. We're looking at doing 3 of those, and diabetes self-management 2 classes. So that's what we're asking. Western Reserve will support us for.
Very
Make that
good.
motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Thank you all so
All
much.
right.
You have a good one.
Take care.
Glenda's not here.
Oh, dang it. Hey Jessica, can you see if Glenn's out tonight?
He must be up.
He went to put his tie on.
I found him.
As I say, saw him walking up. That's
If I was looking, he wasn't here. There's one up there. I had to move it because of Chris.
Morning. Good morning, Flash.
Morning.
This is for
Number
roof-
7.
Number 7 for
Garland.
roof repairs. So this is just to get us so that if we have a roof repair, that we can get them in and get it
I'm
done.
good to go.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
All right, y'all have a
Right
good
on.
day.
Thanks.
Excuse me. I'm on time. Morning.
Good morning.
We have 2 items this morning. First item, we're asking for the approval and authorization of the president of the board for our application from OWDA to release the retainage funding for work and industrial services for the Auburn's wastewater treatment plants and toilets upgrade in the amount of $231,420.83.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler. Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
And then the next item, we're requesting the board approve a merit increase of 1 step for Kathleen Miller, personnel specialist, so rate 23.4.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Steve.
Okay.
Good day. I'll just teach Glenn how to be on time.
Okay.
The next item is the healthcare, the employee contribution rates. You folks, the board approved the healthcare with Corsa Sepco, last week. And this is just setting the rates for the employee contribution. And what we're doing is increasing the employee contribution by $2 per month for the family rate and $1 per month for the single rate. That overall increase within from Sepco was 0.6% from last year.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
And the next item is payment number 11 to Donley's for the building in the amount of $1,217,559.81.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
And with that, we're looking to set up a meeting, again, walk through for the board sometime in October. And you see, I drove by yesterday, they're almost completely closed in now. The doors are all, a lot in. Got most of the brickwork and metal work up on the outside, so.
The roofers are
October
up
would be a
today.
good- October would be a good time. We'll be able to see what they're doing inside.
Yeah. Hey, the title office, did they get squared away?
They're still working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, with that,
With
yeah,
those, yeah.
okay.
We have like 15 minutes before we get to the hearing, so if you, is there anything else that you have, Jerry, or do you want to skip down and do 13 and 14?
Let's just skip down to 13, 14, I don't have anything else.
Andy's going to tell you.
Morning, Andy.
So 13 is to acknowledge receipt of a resolution 2021-26 from the Auburn Township Board of Trustees petitioning the Jog County Commissioners to vacate the public right-of-way upon a portion of Washington Street pursuant to 5553.045 of the Ohio Revised Code.
So moved.
Second, is this the, are we vacating the, okay.
Curb to the water.
Okay.
Boat,
Okay.
basically it goes to the boat ramp.
Oh, that piece that goes to,
It's
okay.
underwater.
Okay,
It's a good portion.
gotcha.
Also, when we do the site visit, we're going to get a boat.
Waiters, you
It just
know.
keeps right on going, right into the lake,
It goes about 300 some feet in
into
the
the
water.
reservoir. Yeah, interesting.
Back in '69, we finally vacated Oak
Okay.
Valley Road, and they moved it because of the reservoir. For some reason, they left this portion.
Okay,
It's
okay,
public highway, and there are no records of this line.
okay.
Mr. Solari?
I,
Mr. London?
Yes.
Mr. DeWart?
Yes.
So then the number 14 then is to request to approve Resolution 21-119 of convenience and necessity for the proposed vacation of the public right-of-way upon a portion of Washington Street in Auburn Township, and further set the public viewing on Tuesday, October 19th, 2021 at 11 o'clock a.m. and a public hearing on Tuesday, October 26th, 2021 at 10 o'clock a.m. Notice of the viewing and public hearing will be advertised October 7th, October 14th, and on the county website.
So moved.
second.
Mr. Solari?
Okay.
Mr. Lundey?
Yes.
Mr. DeWart?
Yes.
Thank you. Take care.
Andy.
See you soon.
I set the viewing on Tuesday at 11, since you are slated for a solid waste district meeting at 1 o'clock that day, so that way you'll be partially the way there,
All right.
on your way there to the
Yeah,
meeting.
okay. In that direction.
In that general direction.
That building's moving quick too. The recycling, you driven by there lately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the floor's poured.
Yeah, they were doing concrete the other, when I was out there. Okay,
We have 15 minutes prior to the hearing. I don't know if you want to recess and then reconvene at 10 o'clock. Or if there's anything you guys want to talk about for the next 15 minutes.
Public comments. We can move right to public comment if anybody has anything. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, so in regards to item number 11, which was the partial payment of number 11, how much has been put into the building so far in terms of funding up to now?
As far as funding,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
as far as funding, how much have we put into the new building?
Off the top of my head, I do not know, but I can use that number right after session.
I think it's,
And then,
Maybe
what
six.
else has to be
Is it on
done?
I think it's on there.
Yeah.
What else has to be done?
For the building?
Well, now the interior people come in, and about a week ago, they did all the cement curbing. They're still doing curbing this morning. Like I said earlier, the roofers are up on the roof right now. The windows are just about all installed. And then, you know, it's all the mechanicals, the electrical, the plumbing, everything behind the drywall, they're working on. And drywall has been started for at least a month or so, with drywall up high, or just on one side, or whatever. So it's a lot of, you know, it's like when you build a house, people see the drywall up, they figure, oh, when can we move in, next week? No, there's the trim, there's the texturing, there's the painting, there's the fixtures, the doorknobs, everything.
And then for the partial payment that was just approved today, was that for the interior of the building, or is that so towards the exterior?
Well, that blends in with the the sequence of the job that the.
Yeah, sort of portion of the work that's been finished over the last month.
Okay.
And so that includes, some more dirt work, earthwork outside the building, work inside the building, the brick veneer, the metal siding, all of that work that's been done last week. So there is some work, interior work that they have been able to do, plumbing and things like that that can get wet with the rain before they get, the exterior walls up. But once they get the exterior walls up, then they can really start moving on the interior. And that number actually is what has been, with today's approval, we're at 12.8 million.
12.8 of the 27? Awesome. I'm about to fix that one right now. Thank you.
Oh, go ahead, Sean.
This is sort of off the cuff, maybe even off the wall. Thanks for the pledge. Thanks for the prayer. Thank you for everything you do. I talked to Mr. Morgan the other week, this day. I appreciate some of the aggravation and hassles you're incurring with what's going on at the new building that's being put up. And overall, heartfelt thanks for everything that you do.
We really appreciate it.
I know.
It's like a moving target, and sometimes you feel like you're in control of the uncontrollable.
Yep.
But we just keep marching forward for the right reasons.
You got that right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go ahead.
Judy Salad Spots, Chesterland. I have a question. The drug problem in Jaffa County is not over. It's not in the headlines because it doesn't make news. But if you work with JFS or law enforcement, you know that it's worse than ever. And the only public official in this county who ever put together a comprehensive plan to deal with it is Commissioner Spitaleri. It wasn't approved because Tracy Jemison voted it down. I'm going to email the sheriff this afternoon to ask if they have a plan. And I don't want to hear about the opioid task force. They completely failed. All they did was send out brochures with political candidates' names on it. It didn't help or offer any support. So is there a plan to deal with the drug issue in Jaffa County?
There's funding out there that the county has put in place. We have now have a drug court that's addressing some of those issues. The sheriff's office has, their task force, their group that they deal with. The prosecutor's office has theirs. So there is work being done. We're just not out there, broadcasting it of all the good things we're doing.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Diane Jones. Jerry, okay, you were so good last week. I heard just about every word that you uttered to us. I did not hear your response to Alec, where he asked in reference to the partial payment. So can you give that information again and tell me how many more payments are left to complete the total payment on this building?
Right now, we're at 12.8 million is what, with this
Okay,
most recent partial
12.8.
payment
I got
of the
that one.
$27 million project.
Okay.
And as far as the number of additional payments, the project is scheduled to be done in June of next year. So, I don't know, with that, however many months between now and July of next year, what's that, 9 months? So we probably about 9 more payments
Okay.
because they're billed on a monthly basis.
They're billed once a month?
Yes.
Presumably, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, let's go. Let's go into recess.
Motion to recess.
Yep. So move.
Ready?
Hi, how are you?
Good morning.
We have you reconvening at 10:02 a.m.
You need a motion for that.
Nope. What I do need is a motion to waive the reading of the legal notice.
Make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
And this is the public hearing. the proposed vacations of the public rights of way upon all of Hampton Hills Drive, no road number, and Wildwood Drive, no road number in Hampton Township.
Take it away.
And swear in.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, anybody here who's fit again is.
Is anyone else here to testify in this hearing?
Just
Just Andy.
about the road vacation.
Yes.
Yes,
Interested parties.
for Hampton Hills and Wildwood Drive. Okay. So if you're going to be saying anything, just raise your hand. He's going to swear in anybody who's going to
Okay,
be
but would
testifying.
you speak up so we can?
It's hard to hear. Okay.
So you raise your hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in regards to this testimony you may give today?
I do. Andrew Haupt, Jog County Engineer's Office, Special Project Manager, overseeing this vacation of Wildwood Drive and Hampton Hills Drive. I have a report to read into the record for the vacation. This is the engineer's report. Office of the Jog County Engineer Report, ORC 5553.06. Proposed vacation of the public right-of-way of all of Hampton Hills Drive, 60 feet wide, no road number, and Wildwood Drive, 60 feet wide, no road number, Hampton Township, Jogga County, Ohio, Wednesday, September 8th, 2021. History of Hampton Hills Drive and Wildwood Drive, no number assigned. Hampton Hills Estates, a subdivision of 16.2828 acres. Hampton Hills Estates was recorded in Volume 7, page 97 of the Jogga County Records of Plats on October 21st, 1957, and established 14 sublots along the northerly margin of State Route 166, Rock Creek Road, with one sublot titled, quote, Future Road, quote, reserved for access to acreage to the north of this subdivision. No public highway was dedicated as a part of this subdivision. Hampton Hills Estates Number 2, a subdivision of 41.1072 acres. Hampton Hills Estates Number 2 was recorded in Volume 8, page 25 of the Jogga County Records of Plats on August 6, 1958, and established 32 lots to the north of Hampton Hills Estates, Volume 7, page 97. Wildwood Drive and Hampton Hills Drive were both, quote, dedicated to the public use as highways, quote. The plat clearly shows that Hampton Hills Drive is dedicated over the Hampton Hills Estates, Volume 7, page 97, sublot titled Future Road, quote, Future Road, unquote, to the north, to the northerly margin of State Route 166, Rock Creek Road. Current events, Township Trustee action. On Wednesday, August 18th, 2021, the Hampton Township Board of Trustees passed resolution number 23-2021, petitioning the Jogga County Board of Commissioners to vacate the public right-of-ways of all of Hampton Hills Drive, no road number, and all of Wildwood Drive, no road number, pursuant to section 5553.045 of the Ohio Revised Code. Location. The location of the public right-of-ways to be vacated is as follows. Hampton Hills Drive, beginning at a point where the center line of said Hampton Hills Drive intersects the northerly right-of-way of State Route 166, quote, 66 feet wide, now known as Rock Creek Road. Said point being located approximately 33.50 feet northerly of the intersection of the center lines of Hampton Hills Drive and State Route 166. Said center line intersection being approximately 1,026.84 feet southwesterly along the center line of State Route 166 from the Hamden-Thompson Township line. Hampton Hills Drive is to be vacated extends from the aforesaid beginning point located at the north margin of State Route 166, northerly approximately 1,596.41 feet to the existing terminus of said Hampton Hills Drive, located on a southerly line of land owned by Donald G. and Michelle D. Kerrigan, by deed recorded in volume 1960, page 2280 of the Jogga County Records of Deeds. Page 2. Wildwood Drive, beginning at a point located at the intersection of the center lines of Hampton Hills Drive and Wildwood Drive, said point being located approximately 997.55 feet northerly from the aforesaid beginning point of said Hampton Hills Drive, and proceeds northerly along the center line of Wildwood Drive approximately 1,111.09 feet to a point located at its existing terminus. Said point also being the northerly line of Hampton Hills Estate Subdivision Number 2 and the Geauga County, Lake County line. Auto registration funds, both Hampton Hills Drive and Wildwood Drive, are not used to calculate distributions of auto registration distribution fund. Underlying fee, this action will release, cancel, rescind, and vacate the public right-of-way of said Hampton Hills Drive and Wildwood Drive as described above by removing the highway easement, allowing the underlying landowners to retain the fee of all lands currently owned pursuant to Ohio law and subject to Chapter 5553 of the Ohio Revised Code. The total area of the public right-of-way of Hampton Hills Drive and Wildwood Drive being vacated is approximately 3.89 acres. Abutting property owners. All abutting property owners were notified, and notice of the hearing was published in accordance with Ohio law. The abutting property owners are identified as follows in Geauga County. Permanent parcel number 150800400, Donald G. and Michelle D. Kerrigan, Sumner Road, Hamden, Ohio, whose property lies at the northerly terminus of Hampton Hills Drive. 2. Permanent parcel number 1500961, John E. Sharon L. Brink and Ronald and Tina Bender, 15098 Rock Creek Road, Chardon, Ohio, 44024. The owners of sublot 4 of Hampton Hills Estate Subdivision, whose property lies on the westerly margin of Hampton Hills Drive. Number 3, permanent parcel number 150174490, Charles M. Cox, TOD, and Lois M. Cox, TOD, 15112 Rock Creek Road, Chardon, Ohio, 44024. The owners of sublot 5 of Hampton Hills Estate Subdivision, whose property lies on the easterly margin of Hampton Hills Drive. Permanent parcel number 150710801 through 150718333 BASP LLC, 8855 Clay Street, Montville, Ohio, 44064. The owners of sublots 15 through 47 of Hampton Hills Estate Subdivision Number 2. These sublots all lie along the margins of the entirety of Hampton Hills Drive and Wildwood Drive. Number 5, permanent parcel number 1510256, BASP LLC, 8855 Clay Street, Montville, Ohio, 44064. The owner of sublot, quote, Future Road, quote, of Hampton Hills Estates, whose property lies under the existing right-of-way of said Hampton Hills Drive. Page 3. In Lake County, permanent parcel number 078-001-V000060 BASP LLC, 8855 Clay Street, Montville, Ohio, 44064. The owner of the parcel located in Lake County, whose property lies at the northerly terminus of Wildwood Drive at the Lake County-Geauga County line. Intent, number 1, to vacate all the public right-of-way of said Hampton Hills Drive and Wildwood Drive as described above. 2, to not extinguish the rights of ingress and egress reserved under law, if any, of the abutting property owners named herein. 3, to not remove public utilities' rights of ingress and egress or easement rights with the vacated right-of-way limits resulting from road vacation per state law. Conclusion, based on the above facts and have no impacts to the traveling public, the Office of the Geauga County Engineer believes the vacation requested would be for the public convenience and necessity. This action is recommended. Prepared by Andrew W. Howe, PEPS, Special Projects Manager, signed by Joe Cattell, County PEPS, Geauga County Engineer.
So in a nutshell, the Ohio Revised Code requires that the report of the county engineer be read into the record, and the board to hear any testimony bearing upon the necessity of the improvement for the public convenience or welfare, and offered either for or against proceeding with the improvement by anybody who may be an interested person. So in a nutshell, Mr. Hopp, what is the reason behind vacating the road, or this portion of the road, of the roads?
The roads that are subject to this action have never been built. There is no evidence that they ever have been. 1957, I believe, was the subdivision Hampton Hills Estates number 1 up front, which basically all lots of subdivision up front, 166, leaving the one strip to the future development. So the owners back in 1957. 1958, Hampton Hills Estates number 2 comes along. The commissioner sign has become a subdivision. Since that date, we have no records of ever anything being built. There's all the lots are vacant, or the auditor has on their record. They're all owned by VSP, and these roads are public highways, considered still to this day.
And if the roads are vacated, would these vacations adversely affect any property owners?
Not in the opinion of the engineer's office, no.
Okay. Anything else?
Off the top of my head, other than they do not serve the public in any way.
Any comments?
Well, I'm one of the adjacent property owners.
Could you state your name and address for the record?
Okay, Lois Cox, I'm at 15112 Rock Creek Road, Chardon, Ohio. I'm an adjacent property owner to the easement right off of Route 6. We have utilized that land. It was implied to us by the realtor when we bought the property that the property line went straight back. They were rectangular lots, and we later found out they are not. By then, septic system is partially on the easement. My house sits 3 feet from the property line. That's 3 feet from the easement. We have maintained that land. We've mowed it. There's trees on it.
So how do you utilize it? You said you utilize it. Is it just by maintaining it?
Maintaining it, we have, we had playground equipment on it at one time. So, yeah. We just wondered what.
And what this really is, if you remove the public right-of-way, that just means that there's no more, it's not a public street. There's no right for the public to travel on that section of the road. And that's all that this is.
Okay, but the property owner has access. On the other side of my house, they own a lot. They have access to the back property. So they've got their easement. So my neighbor and I are wondering why the land isn't just being divided and given back to the adjoining property owners.
Mr. Hoff, do you want to speak to that?
Yes, the Hampton Hills and Wildwood were established when they were dedicated by the subdivision process back then as easements over top of the land. The underlying owner of the land still owns the land today. And there's 2 ways that subdivisions can be dedicated, typically. The old way was this way, and it's clearly described in the plat, that the sublots are defined to the center line of the roads that were drawn and dedicated as the plats show. So basically there's the easement, think of it as a piece of paper over another piece of paper. The easements are rights for the public to travel over. That's being extinguished and removed. The underlying property lines are not changing. There is no land to be given back to the neighboring lots, as there would be in a more modern subdivision today. Typically, the lots are dedicated to the edge of the right-of-way, and then the underlying fee would be the commissioner's property owned in fee. It's a really nutshell description, but in this case, in some of the older subdivisions, they can be both ways.
So in this case, once the public right-of-way is removed, then the abutting property owners would own to the center of the road or to the edge of the right-of-way?
They own to the property lines that exist today.
Okay.
Based on, in Hampton Hills Estates, the lot where the road, Hampton Hills Road is right now,
Okay.
is owned by VASP, and all the lots, and all 14 lots of Hampton Hill Estates do not change any property lines. They remain the same. It's just the extinguishment of the right for the public to go basically travel all those roads back there. They are open to the public.
And as a result, the township doesn't have to maintain it?
Exactly. It's a no benefit to the traveling public right now. Now, if they were improved and they were roads, it might be a different opinion out there if you had a house, but there are none, and they were never built, ever. the roads. So
Does that help?
I hope I try to describe a very technical surveying type
Do you have any other questions?
legal question.
Not really, because I'm with you. We're together. My name is Sharon Brink, 15098 Rock Creek Road, and we're just here to make sure that, you know, our rights are taken care of also.
Sure.
Whatever there may be.
Yep. So at this point in time, you would just be dealing with the owners of the property. Once the public right-of-way is vacated, the township's out of the picture, and it's just, you just deal with who the property owners are.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions?
Okay, what's the next step?
We'll close the public hearing at 19:08. And then next week, we'll do the resolution to proceed, and then the presentation will take place in October.
Thank you.
No motions necessary next week. Okay. Thank you. Anything else, Jim?
I have nothing else.
Adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I get this guy inside.